Welcome back to the channel, guys. Still looking bullish out here. Still looking bullish. Fear and greed at 53. Just in, Bitcoin's officially surpassed Google to become the 5th largest asset in the world. That's worth fucking clapping for. That's worth clapping for right there. Now, right now, at the time of this recording, Bitcoin is 93,598. ETH right hovering around 1,800. Yeah, got a little, almost hit 95, and we're starting to see a little pullback, especially these altcoins. Altcoins definitely pulled back a little bit today, but there's some things I want to talk about. Why is the shit still looking bullish? Well, the U.S. tariffs on China will likely be reduced by 50 cents. I mean, 50%, not 50 cents. Let's go. Let's go. Whoa. But yeah, this whole China situation, man, it's been fucking kind of giga bearish. There's something else, some other bullish things I saw. Just in, Swiss pharmaceutical giant Roche to invest $50 billion in the United States to avoid tariffs. Let's fucking go. Let's go. Treasury Secretary Bessent says China, in particular, is in need of a rebalancing. Okay, so Vietnam starts trade talks with the U.S. I saw something else about India. India is actually putting tariffs on Chinese steel, which is crazy because the Chinese government will subsidize these steel companies, and they're basically trying to outsource everyone, especially with steel, and trying to put these foreign steel companies out of business. And that's good they did that. It looks like India is partnering. They're choosing the U.S. And let's see what else is on here. Just in, Sol Strategies announced a $500 million convertible note facility to buy Solana. Damn it, boy. Damn it, boy. President Trump says the U.S. will have a fair trade deal with China. SEC Paul Atkins, he's speaking at the Crypto Roundtable on April 25th. That's 2 days from now. Treasury Secretary Bessent says a mutual reduction in U.S.-China tariffs wouldn't be surprising. All right, so that's just reading some posts on here. And also Trump said something about taxes. Toyota, Japanese automaker Toyota announces $88 million U.S. investment to boost hybrid vehicle output amid tariff war. China says it's opening to resuming trade talks. Trump saying something about he's substantially lowering taxes on Americans because of the tariffs also, which would be very good because I do not like paying taxes. Now, here's something I want to read real quick. Watch these Bitcoin price levels as key $100,000 level back in striking distance. Damn, we're getting fucking close. Been printing these gains over here, boy. Print those fucking gains. So yeah, I'm just going to read the key takeaways and I'll read a little bit of this. Bitcoin rose again Wednesday to bring back closely watched $100,000 mark back into striking distance. Cryptocurrency oscillated within a 4-month falling wedge before breaking above the pattern earlier this month. Investors should watch major overhead areas on Bitcoin's chart around 100,000 and 107, while also monitoring key support levels near 85 and 76. I don't think we're going to be revisiting those unless we see a black swan event. That's my personal opinion. Pioneer cryptocurrency, along with other risk-on assets, have rallied the past few days amid optimism that the White House could scale back its plan on tariffs after President Trump said the levy on China will be substantially below its current 145% level. Sentiment also received a boost after the president walked back rhetoric about firing Fed Chair Powell, shoring up confidence across financial markets that the central bank will retain its independence. That's really all I need to read from that. Now, let's go back to talking about Jay Powell. For the May meeting, 4.8%. It's still low as fuck. This is like fucking get on my nerves. They need to jack these numbers up. They need to be switching. They need to swap that 95 and make the no change 4.8%, you know? Because goddamn, I'm ready to print gains. I'm tired of waiting for this shit. J Powell, you're a fucking douche. However, the June meeting, likely 59%. It actually decreased for some reason, probably because market's been rallying. And July, we have an 89% chance. So worst come to worst, July for sure. Honestly, June, they may still do it in May. You know, they're getting pressured like hell. But looking at poly market, this is like where people gamble. Same thing. 91% chance of no change, which is actually better odds. I mean, that gives us 9% chance of 25 basis point rate cut. June 18, 47% chance of no change. And July, they're saying a 51 chance of a 25 basis point rate cut. Let me see what they're saying else on here. 10% think it's going to be a 50 basis point rate cut. Let me see. You go back to the May and look at this. 1% think it's going to be a 50%, base. Damn, I'm like stuttering my words. Basis point rate cut. 9% think 20 basis points, and 91% think no change. You know, it's fucking annoying. But you know, I think we could still pump just based on fundamentals and, you know, supply and demand. These altcoins might need rate cuts to really take off, but Bitcoin is a different story. It's a lot of institutional investors and governments and companies and all kinds of shit. All people buying Bitcoin, and there's only so many Bitcoin. There's only 21 million Bitcoin, and there's just not enough. Especially when people like Michael Saylor keep buying up all the supply. He owns 2.7% of the supply now. Fucking crazy. But guys, we're looking bullish, you know. If Bitcoin can keep doing well, if ETH can keep breaking out, these altcoins they'll still keep rallying. And then we keep getting better news on tariffs, and hopefully if Jay Powell, you know, stops being a douchebag and cuts rates. I mean, hell, we have what? How long until the next meeting? Like less than 2 weeks. Yeah. The meeting is in less than 2 weeks. So hopefully, you know, let me look at the economic calendar real quick. I know we have initial jobless claims. Initial jobless claims tomorrow at 8:30. That's definitely going to be moving markets. Let's see here. Initial jobless claims tomorrow at 8:30. Friday, consumer sentiment. Pretty sure we're going to have some inflation data like the following week. Yep. GDP for Q2, that's definitely going to move markets. PCE, okay, this is next Wednesday, April 30th. So yeah, these could definitely change that number. You know, if we get some good inflation data and the GDP is like lower than they want it to be, then that's reason for them to stimulate the economy and cut interest rates. I'm sorry, but Jay Powell, you need to read the room and stop bullshitting, you know? Time to stop bullshitting, my boy. Guys, I'm feeling giga bullish though. You know, we're like so close to like life-changing gains. It's not even funny. We made it through the hard part. Now we just basically have to sit around. You know, if we dump, this is definitely the time to be buying, because we're, you know, weeks, if not months away from a rate cut. Not like months, like super plural, but like 1 or 2, you know. So if your bags aren't packed, I highly suggest that you start doing that. Not financial advice, that's just common sense. But with that being said, guys, if you get any value, please like and subscribe and hold down the fort.